Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Oh my god, you're a legend. I can't believe you're here.
So today we're going to go and take a look at all of the shows that I'm watching on the network of CBS, which has been one of the stronger networks in the entire family of networks for the past 10 years. And we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of shows that I'm continuing on to watching, as well as a brand new one that I am so excited to talk about. So the first show that I'm going to talk about is a newer show, and it's unfortunately a show that I stopped watching, and that is the newest rendition of the famed 80s character MacGyver, even though it is a character that is played by Lucas Till, who I absolutely love in the new X-Men movies. I was really excited for this because I always knew that MacGyver was like an icon of the 80s because he was a guy that managed to make all these crazy weapons with like safety pins and chewing gum, so to actually see a brand new show with a great actor headlining, it was something I was very interested in. But after 2 episodes, I thought that the show really fell flat. I don't really hear many people talking about it. I don't know if this one is even going to last a season. I said the same thing about Minority Report last year, and oh my god, was I right with that one. But if you are a fan of MacGyver, I'd like you to put some comments in the box below and let me know if it did in fact get better. I know that they brought back his classic arch nemesis from the original show, but I'm not sure at this point in time. So let me know. But now let's talk about Big Bang Theory Season 10. I cannot believe that this show has lasted for this long, and I will also say that this season has definitely started off on a very strong suit. We had a very big life-changing event that happened with Sheldon and Amy, not to mention one of the greatest episodes that I have seen come from Jim Parsons as Sheldon in years. I laughed so hard with this one specific episode, and if you've been watching the show, you probably know exactly which one I am talking about. But also adding Judd Hirsch to the cast as Leonard's father was definitely an awesome twist, because he is so funny, and of course all the characters have their great moments. Bernadette has had some great lines, Raj's storyline is hilarious this year, Wolowitz has been having a very interesting storyline. It's been so much fun to watch these characters again this year, and it is just pleasing to me, knowing that a show that I actually was a member of a focus group for is lasting as long as it has. So now let's move on to another show, and that will be Mom Season 4. It was one of the later shows to premiere this year for the fall season, and of course we've got Anna Faris and Allison Janney back, and so far I have been enjoying this show. Last year's season was definitely a different one because it was very dramatic and had some very heavy subjects that they dealt with, but this one hasn't really dealt with those topics. They sort of made it light and fluffy all over again, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We definitely have had some great moments from Bonnie, of course, who's played by the brilliant Allison Janney, and I will also say that the highlight of this show for me right now is definitely Jamie Presley. Her character is such a nutcase, and she is just so funny on this show. I'm so glad that they brought her onto the cast because she just adds a whole new dimension of tomfoolery to this group of women, and every single episode is just a great laugh and a sheer delight. And the next show that I want to talk about is a show that I didn't expect to be talking about right now, and that is the 3rd season of The Odd Couple. I mean, this show is cute. I enjoy it. I think that Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon play off of each other beautifully, but I never would have imagined this show to be as successful as it is, because apparently it's gained a following, and instead of being a short show during the spring or summer, it now has a full season in the fall. And you want to know why it is? They're really bringing these characters into modern society and giving them modern day things to deal with, and I think that that's what makes this show work. We also had an excellent episode which tributed to the late Gary Marshall. We had everyone from Marion Ross to Ron Howard, Anson Williams, we had Penny Marshall, all of these great people who Gary Marshall made famous from all of his shows like Happy Days and Mork and Mindy and Laverne and Shirley. It was just so great to see them all together. Of course, when Pam Dauber showed up, I got a little bit misty-eyed because it would have been great if the late Robin Williams was still alive so he could have made an appearance on that tribute episode. But The Odd Couple is not for everyone. I'm sad to say that, but I am still enjoying this show for what it is. But the next show that I want to talk about is this new one called The Great Indoors. I did not really know what to think of this show at the beginning, but I gave the pilot a shot because my wife was very interested in it as well. And you know something, guys? I'm glad I watched it. I also had no idea that McLovin was in this show. Christopher Mintz-Plessy, he is so great on the show. And we've also got Stephen Fry. And of course, we've got Joe McHale as the main character, Jack Gordon. Now, this show is definitely a simple plot, and at some points in time, it could feel a little bit cheesy, but this is basically the story of a Generation Xer trying to work with millennials, and all of the fun that they poke at millennials, it's just something that makes me laugh so hard. I mean, there are some things in here that I have seen every single day with kids that are classified as millennials. Now, granted, they definitely talk it up a little bit more and they over-exaggerate it, but there's so much truth to how millennials are and how they're now officially joining the working world. It's really, really funny, and I really think that this show is actually going to last, and we may actually see it for a second season. So I highly recommend a good chunk of these shows, and that's all that we have for day 3, so please leave your comments in the box below, and let's have a discussion on any of these shows, guys. Lots of shows to talk about, and I'd really love to have some talks with you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode, and actions speak louder than words.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls.